Hello everybody, this is Sheila with Middle School Art Magic, and I'm here today to show you a little bit of a puddle pour using sort of a spring garden colors with a little bit of black and white as the swipe color. So let me get started. I have a 12 by 24 Michael's very basic canvas because this is sort of a technique that's new to me. And I'm going to tell you, I've done just one and I like it, but it's not exactly what I expected. So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to hope for something a little bit nicer than I got on my first one. Although I'm not disappointed, I wanted something a little more controlled, and that just comes with practice as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to try to pour some controlled little splotches here, and I'm going to start with some green. And then I'm going to move on. I think I had a little too much paint last time. Well, you need a little more than you actually would on a regular painting because there is loss involved. But at the same time, I had more than I wanted to lose. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe to improve that scenario. I'm going to just start with some solid color pours. Little puddles here. I guess they're the size of lemons or small limes, a little bit of variation. I'm going to use only a few of those. I'm going to use just a little bit and a few minutes of inside color on these spots. Here's the color I probably have the most of, and it's possible that I may need to mix some more of the color, so we may have a little interruption with some color mixing. This is two colors mixed together, actually. I had a blue that I had used a little bit of last night, saved some color, and here I am using what I had left of it. And let's see, let's put one right here. And then I've got enough left to use inside of a few colors in a minute. Now I'm going to go with this pretty sort of magenta color that I have. I'm going to put a couple of spots, and this is the color I may need to mix a little more of. And we'll see about that in a minute. My colors that I'm using, the brand is Liquitex Basics, mostly from tubes. I have started investing more in tubs because it's more economical to purchase that way. And I like that because it just makes sense to not spend more than you have to. Now, let me see here. I think I will mix a little more of this magenta. Luckily, I have a little bit of my pouring medium, which is clear glue, 70% clear glue, 30% water. I have some of that mixed up in a little tub to the side. And then I mix it 1.5 parts of the pouring medium to 1 part paint. I'll save just a hair of that back in case I need to mix something else just in a minute because, like I said, I used these colors a little while ago. And I'm just utilizing them the second time here to get a little more excitement going with another painting. I just couldn't resist doing a second one. I went to Michael's, got some canvases on sale today. I usually use their canvases. I got some really of their low-end canvases for practicing a variety of techniques before I invest in the nicer ones. This is the silicone I'm using. It's a hair product. It's OGX coconut milk. I just put it in a smaller container to control the drops a little better. It's available at lots of general stores, including Amazon, one of our favorite general stores that delivers. So, a little mix of that. I put 3 or 4 drops in here just to have plenty. Now I'm going to utilize a little more of this in a couple of spots. And I'm also going to use a little bit of black in here. It's not going to be an overwhelming amount of black, but I definitely want to use black. I'm going to go with some green right here. And then another green right here. And I'm going to start going back in and putting a little color inside here. So I've got a couple of drops. Just going to go put some little puddles in here of different colors. You might even see a little cell action already starting, and that's a-okay. Now a little bit of this very light pink that I have just a little bit left of to do a little decorative stuff here. Nothing crazy. Just in a couple of spots. And like I said, this is going to wind up being a swipe. So we're not going to overthink the perfection here. We don't need it. Let go of that control issue you might have. You don't get to enjoy that in this kind of painting. And it feels good to let go of it sometimes, if I say so myself. Alright, so yeah, I've got about all I'm going to get out of that little cup. Set that to the side. I'm going to come back over here with a little bit of this green. I'm going to go inside of a couple places with the green. Just hit a couple spots with green. Let's see here. A couple places that I feel like could use some green, some more green. And now I'm going to start incorporating in a little bit of this blue again into a couple of sweet spots as a top dousing of color. Let's put a little right there, a little bit down here, and a little bit right there. Now I'm going to come in with a black. And I'm going to try to use it in just a little pointed way. Just a little dribble. Just to hit. I don't want it to overwhelm anything. But I do like the tendency it has to sort of outline some of the cells as they form. And that's what I really like to see the black in. As an accent. Maybe a little more than I want. I think I might have invested a tiny little picture for this kind of little controlled business here. And I think one more right in here, one more right up here, and then a touch on this magenta right there. There we go. And maybe one more right here. And I'm going to put the black up for now. Now let me see here. What do I feel like I want to use to fill in some of this stuff? Because I want to go to the edges a little bit over here. Let's come in here with some of the blue. Fill that in. Let's do a little swath of blue right down here. A little swath of blue right over here. There we go. And a little bit, oh, I've already got some going off the edge there. Let's do some right up here in this area. Make this a little blue puddle area. There we go. All right. Now coming in with a little bit of this pink again. I'm going to go a little quickly here so I can get this moving before I get too much roll off, or more than I want, I should say anyway. Hit a little bit right there. And maybe a little bit right up here of the pink. Going to be a little liberal around the edge here. And again right down here around this edge. A little bit liberal with the pink as I fill in these sort of blank spots. Now I think just another spot or two of black, not too much, but just a little to accent. And I say a little, when I say a little, sometimes I get a lot. There we go. Now I'm going to slide this around. I'm going to leave this right up here for the white to go on in just a minute, my sweat color. I'm going to tilt this ever so slowly around the edges a little bit here. I'm just going to kind of try to keep it on the edge as much as I can there. Not rolling off too prematurely. I mean, roll off is going to happen, but a little control can happen too. Okay, there we go. Do that. I'm going to roll back over this way where I said I've already got some coming off over here on the edge. Spin it along there, keep that right in there. There we go. There we go. Tilt this down this way. Smooth this along here. Run that finger along to kind of bring it to the edge there. So I can get that color saturated on there without hopefully too much runoff. I do try to use the runoff to coat the edges with, so it's not totally wasted or lost. It gets used in this kind of interesting way. Alright, so there we have that. Now what I'm going to do, did I lose one of my flags? I sure did, didn't I? Let's put that back in real quick. With a wet finger. Let's see if we can get it there. There we go. Back this way, as I slid everything that way for a second. You know, I'm not too proud to do a little of this. I'm going to do it. Take some of that, and I'm just going to go off the grid here and do something cool with it. Because I don't want waste. Certainly don't want excessive waste. Okay, so you can see I'm combining techniques here right before your eyes. I don't know what I'm going to get. It's kind of like a box of chocolates, isn't it? And sometimes that's the cool part. The unexpected little bit of stuff happening. Okay, now I'm going to get my swipe color at the top after I wipe my fingers off just a hair on a paper towel that I've already used a little over here, or a lot. We have a swipe color coming in right up here with the white. This white has no silicone in it. It's pure just paint with the pouring medium, which, like I said earlier, is clear Elmer's. It's glue and water, 70% glue, 30% water. Now I'm going to want that to go off the edge, so I'm going to pour a heavy swath of it right through there. There we go. Now I'm going to tilt this a little bit forward so that does go up and meet and go off the edge a bit. Run that along the edge there. Along the edge here. Get that corner covered up nicely. Go back up in here and use that what's left. Fill that little bit in there and let it level out. Stroke it along a little bit with my trusty little wood sticks. Tongue depressors, fat craft sticks, whatever you want to think of them as. I use them for all sorts of things. For mixing, they are essential. Alright. There we go. Now that I have that done, I need a fresh paper towel. I'm going to hide this little dribble right there with some white real quick. Go away. A little bit go away anyway. And a fresh piece of paper towel over here. Then I'm going to swipe. Got my swiping thing over here, which is a poly folder that I cut in half. And I try to keep it as flat and straight as possible, which sometimes I'm very successful with and sometimes I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the edge right here. I'm not going to go over the edge. I'm going to go just to the edge, and I'm barely going to touch it to the white. I don't want to go too flat. I want to go just enough to that kind of sections down to that white a little bit. Then I'm going to slowly drag it down. Trying to move just the white across the color. And I do a pretty good job of that without doing too much waste. There's always waste involved, but try to keep it minimal. I'm going to have to come back with a small thing and do that in a second. Okay, again, just touching the edge, just below the edge, so I don't get a naked edge there. And then not doing too much of this section down, but doing just a swipe of the white across those beautiful colors. I feel like this swipe did better than the one I just did a few minutes ago. I'm going to take a paint swatch here from my trusty hardware store and do a little redo right there. A little bit of light redo, and then I'm going to hit this edge just a little bit too. There we go. Not perfect, but not bad. I'm far removed from perfect. But I make lots of perfect mistakes. And I'll go with that. I'll take that. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for just a minute or two and see what sort of comes about here. And while we're sitting with that, I'm going to check a couple of things here. I'm going to go around and check the edges to make sure I don't have any what I call naked edges. And I didn't look at the front yet, so there's possibly some here, and I need a little touch up here and there on here. Really like to make sure I get the corners and all the edges, because there's lots of paint, and I might as well get it on the canvas, not on the front top surface, on the edges will work. I kind of like what I did here. We'll see if it likes it. We'll know shortly if it likes what I did. Okay, this is looking pretty happy. There's the typical puddles of waste over here, which is to be expected. Now I've seen some cells develop, but not too many yet. I'm going to pick this up and tilt it a little that way. This old table here that I'm using is a little bit uneven, and so I'm not too afraid to do a little tilting. Then I'll prop the edges and balance it a little bit when I get kind of through with these touch-ups. Okay, I think we're going to get ready to torch here in just a second. See if I can level that out a little bit right there. There we go. Try to fix what I can while I can before I get torching. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. There are some cells trying to come out now. Slowly kind of coming out, and this is a process that goes on for a couple of hours actually. As long as it has mobility in the paint, the cells can continue to develop, and they do. And I like that. You gotta be careful that you walk off and leave it on a level surface though, because you can come back and have something completely different than what you walked off from. The paint will slide off. It's still pretty cool sometimes, but not kind of what you wanted. That's just a little heads up. Keep an eye on those things. Level surfaces are helpful to you in your success. Friendly tip. Oh yeah, I'm seeing some cells coming along here. You can see some little cells starting to pop. The torch is going to move that right along. So let's get the torch out. It's just a little $20 jobby from Amazon. Refillable with butane. Gotten to where I'm comfortable using this, and if I can use it, then you can use it. I'm going to hit this white area first. Try to get this part to open up some stuff. I'll also do the edges, because sometimes the edges are just as gorgeous as the painting itself. I haven't gotten burned so far, but try not to get burned today. Now I'm going to sweep back and forth on the lower part here. Definitely got some things happening now. I don't want to get too many tiny cells. I want to get some larger cells here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to back off after this for a few minutes. Then come back and hit a few parts where it's not doing much. Okay. Back off for a minute time. Alright, there we go. Want the hot part away from you. As you come back over here and just give it a look-see. See what's happening with your wonderful work of art. Like I said, don't be afraid to do some adjusting as it continues to develop. I have to touch this corner, and I'm going to have to touch it up when I get through touching it. And that's just part of this sometimes. Okay, so I need some white here. Right there. I'm okay with that. I may not be the purest of white, but sometimes you gotta suck it up and accept a few little things happening in your painting. A few little unexpected surprises. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I do love these colors. Vibrant, vibrant colors here. I'm going to tilt it forward just a hair this way. Slide some of that up a little bit. Sometimes that action will get things moving too a little bit. That'll help some cells to open up. I have the usual mess here of paint off the edges, and that's perfectly normal, part of the process. Loss is part of it. In pour painting, swiping, pouring. The one I found the least loss with is the one I was doing the other day, and it was just tipping the cup. Got to where I got the amount figured out pretty well and didn't have much loss. I love that. But that's not the norm for me. Oh yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. The cells are continuing to develop, which I really like seeing. Seeing some naked spots down here on the base that I'm going to have to hit a little bit. And that's okay. The slide off area that happens sometimes down here. It's part of it too. But oh, is it gorgeous. Gorgeous with a capital G. Man, oh man. Okay, so I'm thinking another little touch with the torch here in a couple minutes in some of these barer spots that I see here on the canvas. Some things that need a little more encouragement, maybe with cell development. And that's what that torch is for. Helping things along when they need a little extra help. Okay. But oh, what I am seeing, I'm seeing some beauty coming out of this. I really am. There are some beautiful areas here. Some stunning parts to this. It's always a treat and always so unpredictable. That's one of the things I love about it. You have to let go of that control business. We don't get that here. Now you can learn from your experience like with anything and try things that you think are going to go a certain way, and sometimes they do, but not always. You know, every time you use different colors, or even the same color, maybe it's a different amount of silicone, different canvas, different blend of colors, they interact in a different and surprising way. So you get lots of unexpected treats. And usually they're fabulous. Sometimes it's like, but usually it's pretty good. Pretty good treats. Okay, so there's a lot of like little cheetah cell development here. I'm going to call them cheetah cells because they're just almost look like a cat skin, sort of gorgeousness. I think I'm going to do one more little sweep with the torch and hit the areas that have the tiny cells. And then I'm going to leave them alone. One more tilt forward before I torch again. There we go. Somehow that little bit of action seems to help the process along. It just opens up the spots for cell development. Back in with my torch. I'm going to start with the white area up top first. Coming down in here, right there, right up here. And I'm going to sweep over in these areas that have these tiny little cheetah cells going on. See if that little bit of heat will fire a little more often here, and it probably will. Oh yeah, I see more happening. want to burn my paint, so I'm going to keep this party moving. Alright, that's it for Torchy. And we'll just hope for the best and continue development here. Again, this is Sheila with Middle School Madness, or Magic, depending on the day. And the period. So here you go, you can see this. If I could take a photo of this every 5 minutes and share it with you, you would see there would be some significant changes happening. There's changes happening right now. I really love what I'm seeing here is some rings outside of black. That's what I like about using that. A little bit of black, it tends to ring on the outside of things when it gets developed in. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you find time for some little fun with your paints and take some chances. Do what I do, watch other people's videos, take your ideas, blend it with their ideas, and see what the magic is for you. Have a blessed day.